Hello class. Today we're going to be talking about telling time. First, we're going to start with, I wonder what time it is outside. Let's check. We automatically think about when we tell time, we always go to a what? Good, a clock. Yes, we always go to a clock when we want to tell time. Usually you have two different types of clocks. You have one called a digital clock. Everybody say digital. And then we have one where we call a analog clock. Now say analog. Good. A digital clock usually only has numbers. So for instance, I have an Apple Watch on my hand right now. And on the time it says 7:43. 7:43 is the time on my Apple Watch. However, if I was to go to an analog clock, it will be written like with hour hand and minute hands. You have two different hands on an analog clock. An analog clock kind of looks like this. It has a minute hand and it has a hour hand. An analog clock has two hands. How many hands does an analog clock have? Does it have one? No, it doesn't. Does it have three? No, it doesn't. Does it have two? Yes, it does. An analog clock has two hands. Now, what do we call those hands on an analog clock? An analog clock hands are called an hour hand and a minute hand. What do we call it? An hour hand and a minute hand. How do we know the difference? A hour hand is the short hand. Everybody say that. A hour hand is the short hand. Now let's look at the long hand. The long hand is the minute hand. The long hand is the minute hand. So the hour hand is short, the minute hand is long. That's how you know the difference. If I have two hands on a clock, which one would I look at first? Let's think. I will look at a hour hand first. You will always look at the hour hand first. What hand will you look at first? The hour hand.
And this is one clock that I have in my house, and that's a analog clock. It has an hour hand and it has a minute hand. Also, here's another one. I usually use my Apple Watch, and it is a digital clock, and it only has numbers. So this says 7:47. That is the time, 7:47.
Now we're going to incorporate some ways about how do we tell time on the clock. Today we're only going to start with the hour. So today we're going to tell the time to the hour and the time to the half hour. We'll practice on the hour first and then we'll go to the half hour. All right, so let's read this. We always start with what clock first or what hand first? Good. We always start with the hour hand first. What number is that hour hand pointing to? It's pointing to the number. Good. It's pointing to the number 8. So that says 8, but now we have to look at the minute hand. What number is the minute hand pointing to? Oh, it's pointing to the number 12. The minute hand is on the number 12. Anytime we have a minute hand on the number 12, that says o'clock. Everybody say o'clock. O'clock. Is it a clock? No, it is o'clock. O'clock. So this now reads 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Good. Notice, what if I was to move the hour hand? The hour hand now is on what number? The number 9. Good job. The hour hand is now on the number 9, but the minute hand is still on 12. It's still on 12, so that we know that says o'clock. So it is now 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. That is the time. Now, I'm going to give you guys a try. We're going to practice. Let's look at the screen and you can guess what time it is.
What time is it now? It is 9 o'clock. When we're writing o'clock, it is usually 00 in digital time. So you have 9, and these are what we call colons, 00. When you're writing o'clock in digital form, it is 00. So this is 9 because we always look at the hour hand first. And this is 12, with the minute hand is on a 12, which is o'clock. Good job. Now, what time is it now? It is what, guys? Let's see. Good job. Yes, it is. It is 1 o'clock. Now, what time is it? Good job. It's 9 o'clock. What about now? What time is it? It's 11 o'clock.